The 12 months 2023 is upon us, and at the same time as many desire there might be a fine extrade for maximum Filipinos, unfortunately it'll now no longer be in order the wealthy keep growing immensely richer and the bad poorer, in step with a poverty survey of extra than 15 million Filipinos done through the Department of Social Welfare and Development, DSWD. The sturdy resilience of the Filipino man or woman will keep to assist them bear the developing hardship. As the fee of survival increases, poverty grows. This is proven with the aid of using the maximum latest survey done via way of means of the authorities itself. According to the survey, there have been over 5.6 million Filipino households residing in dire poverty in 2022. Considering the dimensions of the common Filipino-owned circle of relatives of 6 persons, this interprets to as a minimum 33 million Filipinos dwelling in perennial poverty with little desire for a brighter, higher 2023. This, they are saying, is sort of 30% of the 111 million general Philippine population. This is to mention 3 out of each 10 Filipinos are bad and hungry. The rich, who are about 0.01% of the populace, manipulate 46% of the full wealth of the Philippines, a few analysts say. One can't make sure in view that a great deal wealth of the elite is hidden right here and overseas, and belongings are understated and tax bills are near zero. The middle elegance enterprise humans and the employees pay the taxes. In 2020, however, the Philippine authorities turned into capable of get a mortgage of $600 million from the World Bank to assist the negative in the course of the pandemic. It changed into to be spent at the conditional coin switch software or the Pantawid Pamalayang Pilipino program or the 4PS that could ease hunger. There is hardly ever any proof that the bad benefited much. The cash became additionally earmarked to assist the DSWD to move virtual and cope with poverty extra effectively. This extreme inequality within the Philippines has roots within the ancient political machine inherited from the Spanish and the American colonial eras, whilst clever households serving the effective folks who then dominated received prefer with the authorities. They had been associated with every different via marriage, a medieval approach to consolidate electricity, and that they received political positions that they transformed to own circle of relatives agencies. These businesses in turn, with few exceptions, bought, bribed and bullied their manner into seats of political energy during the last generations. This organization of clever political households used their positions in Congress and nearby governments to complement themselves via way of means of giving themselves public land and lets in for logging, media control, plantations, mining, fishing and more. They shaped commercial enterprise monopolies and primarily persevered to cleverly and brilliantly interlock and cooperate with every different to be able to maneuver and control the not unusual place Filipino. The majority of ordinary, kind, ever-trusting however unreflective Filipinos guide a political device that maintains them in poverty at the same time as providing reasonably priced exertions for the industries of the elite and multinational partners. The wealthy and politically effective dynastic households with their relatives, cronies and partnerships, collectively with neighborhood and multinational corporations, have a decent grip at the economy, which they attempt to develop for his or her personal benefit, drawing at the exertions of negative, underpaid Filipinos. The wealthy keep growing richer and the bad poorer. That's why an envisioned 1.83 million Filipinos fled overseas in 2021 looking for better wages, even though it supposed the lack of own circle of relatives' life, love in their kids and give up to their wish that their personal stunning United States of America could triumph over injustice, inequality and oppression. In 2020, distant places people numbered 1.77 million. They joined the known, greater or less, 11 million Filipinos who stay abroad, serving different masters. They earn a higher living, are enormously reputable and that they acquire their goals. They exercising their abilities and information in difficult labor, unfortunately reaping rewards different nations, now no longer their very own country. But they paintings for his or her households and gained the financial system via way of means of sending domestic their tough-earned money. The general quantity dispatched domestic from April to September 2021 became a spectacular 151.33 billion pesos in cash, which saved the Philippine economic system afloat all through the pandemic. It helped their households survive, however now no longer get out of poverty in a rustic dominated via way of means of the few over the many. The rule through oligarchy fits the Filipino, it seems. They go back dominant dynastic households to strength over and over in elections with few exceptions and unwittingly nearly unknowingly hold themselves within inside the chains of poverty. The wealthy dynastic households and their cronies manage land, industries, the economic sector, transport, manufacturing, ports, meals importation and distribution and power era, and reputedly the minds and hearts of maximum Filipinos. One would possibly say the ordinary, politically unaware, and unreflective Filipino keeps to consider each promise politicians make regardless of how outlandish, fake, and constantly unfulfilled. They nonetheless have silly hopes, consider the empty guarantees and promote their votes to the vote shopping for candidate, thereby approving a political device that maintains them within inside the chains of poverty and whose ruling contributors giggle all of the manner to the bank. The political equipment of controlling social media, the float of records is doctored and the corruption is cleverly included up. In the end, billions of pesos are siphoned off into the wallet of corrupt officials. The device is covered through guardians who are educated to accept as true with that competition is subversion and should be crushed. National improvement of renewable electricity flora will now no longer take place whilst such corruption keeps amongst a few neighborhood and countrywide officials. For example, the transition from the Philippine dependency on fossil fuels to the liberty of low-fee renewables, 35% is the intention through 2025, is sort of not possible due to corrupt practices. Every piece of marginalized land to be transferred has to have an expected 20 signatures. Each signature is behind schedule till a suitable payoff below the desk is agreed. Land switch takes approximately 3 years of such negotiations. Any citizen or non-citizen making use of for permits, clearances, passports, files will apprehend this. There is continually wish for the future. The Filipino is in no way without it, regardless of how unrealistic. It should be primarily based totally on social education, public cognizance, approximately one's rights to desirable governance and motion to gain it with the aid of using non-violent means. This is a bleak evaluation for 2023, however it's miles higher to realize and receive the fact than to stay in a fantasy.